All right. How's everybody doing? How was everybody's Thanksgiving? Before I jump in and start covering this story, I just want to say, much like every other brand on earth, we got a whole big ass sale for Black Friday. NoJumper.com. We got all these kendamas. We got the associated shirts. We got these mystery boxes, which I'm very, very excited about. Basically you can get a whole bunch of shirts, a whole bunch of stuff in general. We got this like Bird Gang Kendama special thing. We got all kinds of stuff. Basically, head on over to NoJumper.com. You can get the shirt that I'm wearing right now. There's an East Coast edition and a West Coast edition. We got a whole bunch of stuff that's just logoed out. We got shorts. Look at this shit. You telling me you don't want this? Anyway, basically, YG. He goes over and he does a festival in Australia. Rapper YG labeled foul and disgusting after spilt milk set. American rapper YG has been labeled foul and disgusting after starting a chant calling for women to take their tops off at Canberra's Spilt Milk Festival over the weekend. The rapper was just kicking off a set on Saturday when he began chanting, "Show us your titties," to women who are on the shoulders of their friends in the crowd. According to several punters who spoke to Hack, what is a punter? The chant went on for a few minutes and made some women feel pressured to take their tops off. Wow, okay, I just want to stop right there. If you're an adult female who's old enough to buy a ticket for a concert and the person on stage starts saying, show some tits, has this ever happened? Has any woman in the history of the world ever felt like actual pressure to whip their boobs out? I mean, I've never been to Australia. I don't know exactly how shit goes on out there, but I can't really imagine that that's something that seriously happens. And also, this is just an example of treating women like fucking idiots. Like the idea, like what if somebody went on stage, if fucking Sarah McLachlan went on stage and started saying, "Hey, everybody show us your penises." You think that me and my boys are going to be standing in the crowd like, "Damn, well, guess we got to whip it out." No, that's not how it works. It's fucking stupid. Anyway, continuing on. According to Gabriella, 20, was in the crowd at YG's set and said that one woman did end up baring her chest, only to have YG mock her for the size of her breasts. "I couldn't hear what YG was doing, but I saw the screen on stage turn towards the crowd and show a girl on someone's shoulders. Then all I could hear was YG in the crowd chanting, 'Show them titties.' And whether the girl wanted to or she felt pressured, she did flash her boobs. And then YG turned around and mocked her and said, 'Look at them mosquito bites.' Gabriella said the whole act was foul and disgusting, but there were people in the crowd who weren't having it. I just kind of stood there and thought, I don't really want to be here." All right. So this is like really calling into question one of the most important topics of our time, which is basically, are we going to let the social justice media mob govern our decisions as hip-hop fans? Because YG doing this, telling the crowd to show them their tits. Have you ever been to a rap concert? I've been to a lot of rap concerts in my life. Have I heard rappers say this? Definitely. It's not just rappers either. This used to be like standard shit for rock bands and stuff. I mean, I'm coming from a background of having gone to shows in the late 90s where this was like constant. Every fucking band on these like rock concerts, Warped Tour, whatever the fuck it was, everybody was asking to see tits. That's normal shit. Fucking Quavo in the, what was it, in the fucking Bad and Bougie, when I'm on stage, show me boobies. Like, this is just, it's not that big a deal to say, "Hey, show me some boobs." I mean, if you're a heterosexual guy and you're standing on stage, there's not a lot of boobs around. There's not a lot of like girls really even to look at. Pretty much everybody's on the same surface level. Saying, "Show me your tits," is just like the most classic rock and roll / hip hop thing that you can yell out as a performer. It's like yelling out like, "Left side, make some noise. Right side, make some noise. Girls, show us some titties." It's just really not that out of the ordinary. And I don't know to what extent this is basically revolving around the fact that this was in Australia. I do know that Australia seems like they have a very emboldened social justice sect. You hear about this kind of shit happening all the fucking time. And that's the question, is like, are we going to like just buy into this stuff? And when I say we, I don't know who the fuck I'm talking about, because this apparently happened in Australia. But I mean, the funny thing about it is that, and I believe we'll get to this, is that basically the promoters of the festival, they apologized. YG did not. and there's absolutely no like real outcry from like American rap fans or fans in general. I tried to find shit about this on Twitter. Not a whole lot of it going on. This is basically the kind of like contrived outrage that people love these days because it's so fucking easy. Let's keep reading. I booed and I screamed back, and there were a few guys who felt the same way. Yeah, right. They're a bunch of fucking dickheads, and they just want to get in your pants. Mark27 said he'd never seen anything like YG's set, calling it absolute filth. Mark is an appropriate name for this guy, for the record. It was appalling. Not actually performing, which was bad enough, but blatant sexual harassment on stage, targeting women and demeaning women. Just because someone is on stage and doing something doesn't mean we have to support it. It's a sad day for society when people are cheering for something like that. In a statement to Hack, Spilt Milk condemns the rapper's comments. The comments made by YG on stage were not okay. We thank, this is the statement from the promoters, we thank the courageous people who had voiced their feelings so that this disrespectful and predatory behavior is exposed for what it is. Organizers apologized the set was used in this manner and said that YG's comments don't reflect the values and goals of Spilt Milk. We cannot and will not ever control an artist's performance, but we will continue to focus our bookings on forward-thinking artists that share our values. To anyone who takes part in this discussion, please consider that many people experience this and other types of predatory behavior daily. Take the time to listen, learn, and be part of the change. So this is basically the new world that we live in which anytime that anybody gets offended by anything, if anyone is involved who has any sort of like corporate connection, they have to apologize because otherwise they're going to be seen as emboldening and embracing someone who's basically reinstating the patriarchy for all to see. So apparently when they booked YG, they didn't know that YG has also been embroiled in other controversies in the past. Like one that really stands out in my mind is the whole controversy about him talking about breaking into and robbing Asian people's homes. This was considered really offensive when it first came out. You know, I mean, YG is a guy who's done a lot of rapping about flocking, which is basically robbing people's houses. To what extent he's actually done that, or he's just rapping about other people's experiences, we don't really know. Who really gives a shit? But basically, you know, anybody who knows anything about robbing houses knows that if you're going to rob a house, it's better to rob an Asian person's house because they don't believe in bank accounts. Okay, I take that back. That was offensive. Not all Asian people don't believe in bank accounts, but a lot of them don't, or at least that's the knowledge that YG was espousing in some of his songs. And this was considered really offensive. And it's just an issue where are we really attempting to like throttle a rapper's ability to speak honestly about the world and what's going on in the world? Because to me, him describing breaking into people's houses at all is wrong. Him specifying that one person's house might be more beneficial to break into because of the traits that are generally associated with their race. Is that any worse than robbing the house in the first fucking place? I don't get it. For me, YG going on stage and, asking to see some boobs. I mean, this is rap music, and people rap and say misogynistic things all the time. I'm sure if you were to really comb through YG's lyrics, you'd be able to find examples of him saying things about women that are so much more offensive than him just saying, hey, let me see some tits, which, again, nobody existing on Earth actually feels pressured to show their breasts when somebody says, hey, let me see some tits from the stage. I mean, it's just not reality. No adult seriously feels tempted to do something that they don't want to do when this sort of thing happens. I just hate seeing these fucking corporate demons just book rappers, act as if they support rappers, and then as soon as any sort of attention is called to the realities of their lyrical content or who they are or what they've done in the past or the kind of stuff that they talk about, the fucking overlords have to backpedal and say, no, we can't support this, blah, blah, blah. How about this? How about you never book any rappers ever again because some gigantic percentage of rappers have rapped about offensive shit in the past, and, we really, really want to make sure that nobody ever gets offended by anything ever that they say on stage. To me, rap music is really kind of a home for people who want to talk about things that are not allowed in the outside world. Like a lot of rappers talk about crime, talk about women, talk about whatever. They're sort of sometimes regressive thoughts on politics or whatever the fuck is going on in the world. I mean, these kind of things certainly more often than not find a home within rap. Like if you're a guy and you want to talk about selling drugs, well, here's the thing. Talking about selling drugs doesn't seem like it really occurs in any kind of music besides hip hop, right? So hip hop sort of acts as like, a safe space if you were to want to sort of weaponize some of their terminology, but it acts as a place where people can talk about the things that they have going on. If you want to call a woman a bitch, it's accepted in hip hop. Really probably wouldn't be accepted in country or, alternative rock or whatever like that. And so then you just see these absurd situations unfold where you book a rapper like YG who's famous for being raw, for being honest, for talking about his life and what's going on in it in a very, very, blunt, brutal, forced way. And then the fucking corporate demons feel the need to apologize for it afterwards. It's fucking stupid. Anyway, back to what's important. Head on over to NoJumper.com. Cop yourself something for these beautiful holiday seasons that are coming upon us. It's Black Friday. Whatever. No Jumper. Links in description. Peace.